Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about Black Desert Online again. Mainly we're going to be talking about my Witch and things I wish I knew when I started out playing the Witch, because now I know a lot more, but I feel like I still am a beginner at the Witch. And so first of all, I'm going to explain what each skill does for Awakening. We're not going to talk about Succession because I don't know anything about Succession. And we're not going to talk about pre-awakening either because I didn't really spend a lot of time in pre-awakening. I just rushed to awakening and I kind of stayed with my awakening skills. I never went back to the non-awakening skills other than to apply buffs. Also, look how pretty she is. I finally got Fairy Blue, which is my dream costume. So I'm very, very happy about that. But, you know, without further ado, let's talk about the skills. So when you press K to open up the skills, you've got all these little tabs over here, right? So the first one you want to go to is Awakening, because that's the main one we're going to be talking about. So there's something that people might not have noticed, or at least I didn't notice until much later into the game, and that is down here. You have Skill Enhancement over here. And when you click on this, at the beginning you're not going to have anything. They're both going to be empty. And you actually need to learn 2 specific skills in order to learn a special skill. So for me, I have Sage's Light. So Sage's Light, I need to have Sage's Memory, and I also need to have Healing House in order to unlock Sage's Light. And Sage's Light is basically just another way to heal myself. It heals 30% of my max HP recovered to myself and 20% of the max HP to my party members nearby, and recovers the max of 3 times. So that's a lot of HP refilled. And it also refills some MP, 150 MP, which is also super good and gives me some defense for 10 seconds. So I could learn that, or I could learn Sage's Thunder. So both of the commands are Shift X. And you know, Sage's Thunder is more of a attack spell, you know, it deals damage, and Sage's Light is a support skill. It heals people and supports your team. So I learned Sage's Light because I'm more of a support player. I'm less about DPS. I like to stand in the back lines, heal my teammates, let them do all the fighting, and I'll just chill in the back. And then over here, there's another skill, which is Shift Z. And Shift Z, again, you get 2 choices, Swift Earthquake or Trembling Thunder. So I took Swift Earthquake because it swiftly casts a powerful and far-reaching earthquake spell. It sounds good, you know, it's a fast skill that you can just cast and does lots of damage. But again, I needed to learn Earthquake as well as Speed Spell. And they'll tell you like what stage you need. So I think this one was Earthquake stage 4 and this one's Speed Spell stage 3 in order to learn Swift Earthquake. But that is the first thing that I wanted to point out because I didn't know about these. It's just like 2 extra skills in your arsenal of abilities. So the reason I picked Witch is because she is one of the more easier classes to pick up, if not the easiest. I think Shy is the easiest, but I'm not entirely sure. Shy and Witch, I don't know, right? But I preferred the Witch because I just liked her body proportions. She's really, you know, she's my waifu, okay? Stop judging me. But anyway, let's talk about the skills. So first of all, you've got C. C summons the 2 balls of doom. And then, yeah, so you need to summon your balls of doom in order to be in awaken mode. If you're in your staff, then you're in non-awaken mode. You're in regular mode. So, you know, I stay in awaken mode the entire time because I'm lazy and I don't PvP. So I don't know when you would actually go to normal mode other than to apply your buffs. So there are certain buffs that you will be applying from normal mode, and that is down here on my buff bar. So there's Spellbound Heart, which basically gives you MP every so often. There's Speed Spell, which gives you extra movement speed, and I've got Healing Lighthouse on my hotbar just in case I need to heal myself or heal my teammates. It's just for convenience, for me at least, okay? So other than that, the next spell is Q. So this is very, very important. This is basically a frontal block. You put a wall in front of you, and anything in front of you who's trying to hit you, you will be protected from it. And it's really, really nice because you literally just, okay, don't crouch there. Summon our 2 balls, because you literally put that wall up, and any enemy that tries to hit you is going to hit that wall, and you're going to get MP back, which is very, very nice. It also increases all your resistance by 20% for 5 seconds, which is very nice. Your next skill over here is your Shift E. This is a self buff. It gives you a bunch of stats, which I didn't know until much later. Like, it gives me 700 MP. So that's more than half of my MP right there. It gives me 20% faster casting speed, more crit rate, more AP. It's super strong. You simply hold Shift and press E. And boom, you look, all these buffs are now activated for 30 seconds, and it's super strong, super insane, so it's definitely something you should be casting. Next one is paralysis. I don't cast this much often, but I really should, because it slows down the enemies to buy you more time, more breathing room in order to cast more spells. These two skills are kind of useless to me. I don't really care where my summon goes, or my lightning boy, or my golem boy. I don't care about them, right? So whatever. This is your auto attack. Your auto attack is great. It's just LMB or RMB when you've got your two balls, and it basically just gives you a plus 100 MP recovery every good hit. So every time you hit an enemy, you get MP, but you can also move around with it. So when you're attacking, you can move like that, and boom. But when you're moving around like that, it does consume stamina, so just keep that in mind. All right, now we covered the basics. Now let's cover our 6 main skills. So over here, the first one is called Equilibrium Break, and this is basically a frontal guard plus attack. So I really like this attack because it protects you while you deal damage at the same time. So basically you hold shift and you press LMB, and boom, you just stomp on the ground. This giant shockwave comes out, and it looks super cool, and it's super safe because you're protected from the front. Anything in front of you, when they try to hit you, you're going to be protected, and you deal damage to them. Your second skill is Fissure Wave. So this is backwards LMB and RMB. This is a much more riskier move because you've got no protection, but it does give back MP back on every good hit. So it gives 50 MP back on every good hit. So it's very nice when you're like running low on MP, but you've got a huge mob in front of you. Then you just use back and then left click, right click, and then you know, it just hits everything in front of you. But the main thing is you have no protection during that time. So if anyone like stuns you or dazes you during that wind up animation, you will get CC'd. So you really want to make sure that the enemies are like, you know, they're CC'd so that they don't interrupt your big spell. The next one over here is your Pulse, which is Shift F. And this spell is very good for opening. Like maybe you teleport into a pack of mobs and you start your spells with this, because it decreases your casting time. It gives you plus 10% casting speed for 10 seconds, which is very nice. It also decreases the enemy's evasion rate by 15%. So what I like to do is I like to teleport in and then shift F, boom, and I hit them like that. And then maybe I'll spin to the side and then use this to daze them and have like my frontal block so that I don't take too much damage or any damage at all. So, you know, I'd like to start off something along those lines, because this spell is just, you know, it's just really nice. It also gives you super armor, which is basically like immunity to CC, which is also very nice. Next is Detonative Flow. This is more, I don't really use this spell unless I know that I am significantly stronger than the enemies. Maybe I like one-shot it with this spell, because this spell, you can spam it a lot, but it eats through your mana pretty fast if you just spam it over and over and over. So I do run out of mana pretty quickly if I spam this over and over, but I do use it quite often on like bandits. You know, there's a lot of bandits around and I just want to kill, like, you know, I want to kill the gunners at the side because they're sniping me at the side and it's annoying. I just usually cast Detonative Flow and bzah, and they die, right? So this is just to kill like the stragglers, the trash mobs, or the range mobs standing around. And for the meat and potatoes, like the melee mobs that are chasing me, I still like to use Equilibrium Break or maybe Fissure Wave, Volcanic Pulse. You know, I like to use any of these spells. This spell, Thunderstorm, I save for more stronger units. Again, you get super armor when you're charging it up. So again, it's just backwards F. It has a very long cast time, but during that cast time, you do have super armor, which is very nice. It does protect you from a lot of CCs. So, you know, when you see someone trying to CC you, you could cast this. Usually I would start off with this first before casting this, mainly because Shift F over here gives you casting speed plus 10%, so that your down F will cast a little bit faster. And finally, Yoke of Ordeal. This is Shift RMB. This skill deals a ton of damage and again is also a forward guard. So you'll notice once I hold down Shift and this boom, 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 boom. So you can see that it's a very long animation. So you're kind of locked down there, but anything in front of you is not going to be able to hurt you because as a frontal block, you're pushing them back and you're dealing tons and tons of damage. So this spell is very good for dealing damage, okay? Because it just deals a lot of damage. If you look at the multipliers, you know, you're dealing, what, 901% multiplied by 12? and it hits a maximum of 10 targets and increases your critical rate by 8% for 10 seconds. That might be one of my skill modifiers. I'm not sure if that is innately there, but you know, it's definitely very, very nice. Do keep in mind that it does consume 50 MP to perform one additional hit if performed into a combo. So the more you hit, the more MP it's going to eat from your MP gauge. So now that I've explained the core skills on the Awakening Witch, so the main weakness for the witch is her backside. So you don't want anyone sneaking up behind you and backdooring your bumhole, because we just don't swing that way. So just make sure whenever you engage in a fight that you keep all the enemies in front of you, because you have a lot of frontal protection. Let's say that, you know, there's an elite mob. Let's say you're fighting Kazarka. You just put up your Q. Bam! You're protected by a lot of his attacks. Then, okay, let's say your Q just went down. Then you could do like a shift left click if you know that he's about to attack. So boom, boom. That again is another frontal block. Oh crap, maybe I timed it a little bit too early and he's still gonna hit me. Then shift right mouse button. This is also a frontal block. So you've got a lot of skills to protect you from enemies in front, but you have zero protection when someone tries to backdoor you and bum rush you from behind. So just make sure that you're well aware of your positioning, and if someone ever does get close to you from behind, maybe use like your shift F, like that spell, because it does give you super armor so you won't get CC'd, and it's like an AoE around you and it'll zap them, and then once you do that you can find a way to get away from them. So another big weakness about the witch is your MP gauge. You run out of MP extremely fast because all your spells consume a lot of MP. So in my personal playstyle, I have several ways to restore my MP. If there's an enemy, obviously I just simply auto attack them with my left click or my right click, and that will recover my MP gauge. Another thing is when I am totally out of MP and I really need MP quick, like let's say I'm currently at 100 MP, I can't cast Healing Lighthouse. So what I'll do is I'll press E to do the quick heal. That way I can use my Healing Lighthouse, which will heal me a little bit more and give me even more MP. And this will give me enough MP to get away from whatever situation I'm in, right? So let's say that there's an enemy in front of me. So since we're fighting NPCs, we don't need to do anything fancy. We can legitimately just turn around and teleport away, just like that. So you can see there that I use double teleport, and that is a mastery skill. So if we just go to our main skill down here, this is the only time we're all going to go to the main tab, is you can learn ultimate teleport. So ultimate teleport lets you teleport twice. And so since you have ultimate teleport, you can do a lot of really fun stuff. So what do I mean by fun stuff is when you unlock your mouse, so when you press Control to unlock your mouse, you can still cast skills, right? So when you're casting a skill, you can do some crazy stuff. Like let's say I don't want to teleport forward, but I'm facing forward. And let's say, you know, in front of me is Kazarka. I'm like, oh crap, I cast a teleport. I need to get away from Kazarka, but I don't want to go towards him. What you can do is you can move your mouse and hold down your left click the moment you teleport. So you can see here, whoop. And you see, I made like a U-turn. And if you're doing like some PvP stuff, a lot of people will read your teleport, because when you teleport, you have a huge tell that you're teleporting. You see this animation? There's this huge animation, you raise up your staff, and you're always going to teleport the way that you're facing. So a lot of smart PvPers, they're just going to wait for you to teleport, and then they're going to attack you from behind because they think you're going to teleport in a straight line, because most people teleport in a straight line. So what you can do is you can juke them out. So you press Control to unlock your mouse, right? And then when you're teleporting forward, like drag your mouse downward so you teleport backwards. So you'll face forward, and the moment you teleport, you'll just start teleporting backwards. So I'll show you that now. Boom, you see? So they saw you teleporting forward and they're like, oh, we're ready to gank you, we're ready to smash you from behind because that's your weak spot. And you're like, nope. And you just teleport the other way. And they're like, wait a second, how did that happen? Where did you go? And you can do some really funny stuff. And this is what has saved me a ton in PvE content, mainly because maybe I'm farming in polys and someone comes along and is like, hey, this is my farm, so I'm gonna kill you now. And what I like to do is, like, let's say there's an enemy coming from the side over here and he's about to use his gap closer. Like, you know, let's say Levi wants to kill me. He wants to use his Musa. He's like, oh, I'm gonna charge and I'm gonna kill you. What I like to do is, like, I'll teleport and I'll go there and I'll go there. And then so I'm all the way here now instead of standing over there. And then, you know, Levi just charged forward and he's like, wait, where did he go? Because he's now facing that direction and he can't see me because I'm all the way back here. So once I'm here, I can either start running away, I'll be like, ha ha ha, run away, don't kill me, or I can fight him because, you know, his back is facing me. Then I can CC him or throw a lightning bolt or throw something because he doesn't see me, he doesn't know who I am. Obviously these tactics might be pretty noob for a lot of you veterans out there, but you know, for me, I'm having a blast. I found it pretty cool to learn the teleport thing. I was like, oh, that's a pretty neat thing. I totally found it by accident. I think I was lagging or something. I was just like randomly clicking buttons. I was like, wait, I teleported in a circle. If you get really fast, you can really do a circle. I'll try one more time because I want to show off. Like that, you see? So voila, I did like a ribbon shape thing, but you can do some really crazy teleports and it just looks cool. It just looks cool. It feels cool. I missed one very important skill. So when you're fighting a world boss or dark rifts, I really recommend using Toxic Flood. I think you can use it against regular mobs as well, but I'm noob and I always forget about it. But against like bosses, I always use this spell because bosses tend not to move that much. So I like to use Toxic Flood, just put it under them, and it deals a ton of damage. It's 1500% times 23 times and inflicts, and it has poison damage of 100 damage every 3 seconds for 36 seconds. And since the boss ain't moving, it does quite a lot of damage. Not only that, it also decreases their magic DP, so their defense points, so that you can deal even more magic damage onto them. So what I'd like to do is, you know, I'll throw down an E, maybe I'll start off with my Shift F, into my down F, into my equilibrium break, into maybe my Q so I'm protected, into my fissure wave, into my yoke of ordeal. Like, you know, something like that. Because you don't have that many skills anyway on the witch. It's really depending on the situation, depending how you like to do combos. I personally, against world bosses, safety is my #1 thing because I don't want to die. I don't want to lose that 1% EXP. So I usually just throw down a Toxic Flood. Maybe I just throw down a Thunderstorm. And I just spam like these two abilities, mainly because these two abilities have the frontal guard, so I know I'm protected. And then whenever my Q is up, I'll throw down the Q and then I'll cast Fissure Wave. So then again, it's protection so I don't die. But the way that I play is super safe, super chill. I also recommend people to remember the different combinations and not to just rely on your hotbar. Because it does say over here, skills consume slightly less MP, WP, SP when entered as commands and not in a quick slot, and consecutive uses will reduce it even more. I don't know how much it reduces it, but I just saw this and I was just like, okay, you know, I'll just learn the combos. And since the witch is relatively easy, it's not super intensive on the fingers because you've only got like 6 spells really, or 8 spells I guess if you include everything. So it is pretty chill, it's pretty easy, and it's very, very safe. Hopefully by sharing my knowledge on the witch with you guys, hopefully you guys have learned a thing or two, or maybe you haven't and you have advice for me. You know, I'm more than happy to learn more about the witch, more than happy to learn more about this game, because I am invested. I love this game. It's so fun. But it just feels like whenever I learn something, there's always so much more to learn. So it seems very difficult for me to make a video, because the moment I make a video about it, literally like 2 days later, I'm like, ah, crap, I learned something better than what I just made a video about. And I think that's the beauty of this game. Like, it's just constant learning, and you're learning, you're learning new things, you're trying new things, you're exploring new things, and it's amazing. It just feels so good. The game always feels fresh because you never feel like, oh, I've hit the apex, I have learned everything and mastered the game, because you've not, right? Like, I still don't know anything about alchemy, I don't know anything about bartering, about sailing. There's so much this game has to offer that I don't know about. And it's great. It's seriously great, and I love it. But, you know, this is just a couple things that I've learned about the witch in my, I'd say I played the game for about a month now, or a month and a half. And, you know, I still feel like I've only scratched the surface, because whenever I YouTube like witch video or witch guide, like it's literally like an hour-long video, and in that hour-long video, there's like 40 minutes of the stuff that I didn't know. So it's pretty insane. But, you know, I just wanted to share with you guys in today's video what I've learned. And hopefully you guys have learned a little bit from my experience. Or even better, maybe you guys can give me more advice on how to play the witch. Maybe I'm playing it totally wrong. Who knows? But, you know, any advice would definitely be appreciated. But for me, I'm still having a blast with this teleport skill. Just being able to loop around like that is just, oh my god, it feels so good. It feels so funny when someone's trying to kill me and I do that teleport and they're like, wait a second, where you go, ninja? And then usually I run away because you know, I don't want to fight people. I'm pretty pacifist when it comes to farming spots. It's like, oh, you want it? It's yours. It's yours. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. And I usually just bounce. Yeah. But anyway, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, I would appreciate a subscribe. Do let me know if you want me to cover Tamer next time, or if you guys want me to cover any other subjects, because I love talking about this game. Let's be honest, this game is masterpiece. Anyway, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome for the heals, the boosts, the